The euro remains completely sideways, but the US dollar just did something in the last 24 hours that makes everything crystal clear. So I will have all the details in today's video. I'm sharing my complete trade plan for the DXY, the euro, and the pound. Now, my name is Justin Bennett, full-time trader and founder of Daily Price Action. As always, all of this is my opinion only and not financial advice. So let's get into it here with the DXY. Now, first, let's take a look here at the weekly time frame, which you can see the market is coming off of this support level down here. We've talked about this in recent videos many times, but this is an ascending channel going back here to 2011. And furthermore, you can see too, where recently we did have the DXY giving us a breakout of all of these highs here over the last year. So all in all, guys, I am still bullish on the US dollar. Now, in terms of where we could pull back to, the last video I made over the weekend, we talked about this level down here. So if we go to a daily time frame, you can see where we have this symmetry, okay, down here, which in other words, you have these lows that formed. Okay, so you have this low here, this one up here, this high, and also this one right here, right before the breakout. So since that time, we have seen the DXY here, the US dollar breakout, and now we're getting that corrective move lower, okay? So this is all kind of what we would expect here following a breakout. However, the tricky part has been the recent price action, because you can see that going all the way back here to basically late June, all of July so far has just been a choppy market here for the DXY. Okay, now with that said, though, you can see something here that has changed in the last 24 hours. But before I get to that, guys, if you want me to coach you one-on-one in Discord, here's what you need to do. So click on the link below this video. That's going to be a completely free SMC training. It is 100% free. It's my entire strategy that I use to trade full-time every single week. And then beyond that, once you opt in by entering your name and email address, you will have a limited time offer to get into Discord to be coached by me one-on-one. So check that out below this video. It's also in the description of this video. So the DXY in the last 24 hours, the one thing it has done here, and I mentioned this channel over the weekend, but you can see here off of these recent highs, this is the daily chart. You can see that off of these highs here, we do have what could be a breakout, okay? Now, I will say there are a couple ways to draw this channel. So this is where diagonal levels aren't as reliable as horizontals in a lot of cases. For instance, you could draw this off of the closing price back here. Okay, so something more like this, in which case you can see where the market is technically below this. Okay, however, if we go to a daily time frame and use the high from back here, what you will notice is that on Tuesday, we had the DXY close above, and so far on Wednesday, we are retesting that as new support. So this is the one thing here that could provide some clarity in terms of what we get from the US dollar next. However, here is a couple of notes on this. Okay, so the first thing is that we could still see the DXY come back here and test this level. So this channel that we just looked at right here, right? We had this level back here, we got the breakout. And as you can see, we haven't quite had a retest. Okay, now furthermore too, we also have this inefficiency back here during the breakout, right? So this back here is an inefficiency for the DXY. So right around that 100 psychological level, that's important to understand because we could still see the US dollar pull back down here into this area first before we get the bottom. Now here, at least for me guys, here's how I'm going to confirm that this is likely to hold and that we're not going to get this first, is this level up here that you see at 101.33, okay? So the reason this is significant is if we go to a 4-hour time frame, what you'll notice here is that recently we had the DXY closing below this low over here. So on the way down, the way this looks structurally, right, from an SMC standpoint, is that you have this close below, okay, these lows over here, giving us that BOS, that break of structure. That means that the highest point within this range, okay, is going to be this high right here. If we see the DXY close a 1-hour and 4-hour close above here, then that gives us a change of character. In other words, it confirms that this down here is the bottom and we are not likely to see this area around 100. Now, if we do not get above here, okay, so this is important. If we do not get above this and instead we drop back inside this channel, then we're probably looking at a move down here first before we get the bounce, okay? So that's just a way to kind of confirm that this could be the low here and that we're not going to get 100. Okay, so just kind of a bonus tip for you guys when you're looking at these markets. So that's really what this comes down to. In my opinion, guys, the DXY is a lot cleaner than the EURUSD. So I'm using this as my barometer for trading those major currency pairs because again, I think this is a much cleaner chart than anything on the euro or the pound. Now, in terms of targets, if we do get the breakout, right, whether we break above this 101.33 level, okay, to give us that change of character, or we see this level down here first, I still think, guys, bottom line, as long as we're holding above this area around 100, then my target for the DXY is up here around 103.7. Okay. And the reason for that is we've talked about that before, but if you look over here from 2025, we have this inefficiency. We also have an open gap back here. All right, so that would be my target for the DXY. Again, the question right now, though, is whether we see the DXY confirm this with a close above 101.33, or we get the push down here toward 100 first. Okay, so let's move on here to the EURUSD. And by the way, if you want to use the broker that I trust the most out there, then check out the link below this video for IC Markets. With that link specifically, you are going to get a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000 and additional deposit bonuses of 50% up to $25,000. So they're going to give you up to $26,000 in bonus money to trade with. So it's an absolute no-brainer. And for those who deposit $10,000 or more, I will grant you lifetime access to our Discord group where I'm in there coaching members one-on-one and also the full SMC course. Okay, so for the euro, guys, what we've talked about over the past few months is completely unchanged, right? We have this change of character that occurred back here. And even though this has been a slow burn in terms of the market carving out a top up here, you can see where this rounded top is still very much in play. Furthermore, too, we've had breakup structures like this here recently, okay? So even though the price action over the past few weeks has been really slow, I mean, ever since back here around, let's see, June 24th, really, this has just been a very, very sideways and choppy market here in the summer months. Now, with that said, though, okay, with the DXY, this is where this comes in as my barometer for trading these other markets, because here's the thing. If we get the DXY above 101.33, I know that that's my cue to start looking for euro shorts. And if we look here at a 4-hour time frame, okay, in fact, let's go to a 1 hour. What you'll notice here is that we had the BOS over here. Now, we didn't quite close above. That makes this down here, this 1.1362 level, the level that sellers have to take out for a change of character. However, we could see, okay, we will likely see the DXY above 101.33 before we get the euro down here. And this is why, again, I use the DXY as a barometer for, trading things like the euro. Okay, so in my opinion, guys, I mean, this is still a bearish market, right? Structurally, everything about this still tells us that we're looking for shorts. It's really just a matter of waiting out this sideways price action because it has been just incredibly choppy here in July. Okay, so bottom line for the euro, take out this low down here, obviously this one first, then take out this low down here. You have that change of character internally and a continuation of this trend. Okay, now one thing here too, I haven't looked at this fully yet, but I did want to discuss this with you guys is, the potential for something like this here to play out, right? And it's not perfect, right? It's not perfect here on the euro, but you can see where, again, you have this drop down here, you have this breakup structure. We took out the low back here. And so really, in my opinion, guys, this is really just nothing more than corrective price action here following this last price leg. And so this probably, in my opinion, becomes a continuation of this down toward levels like 1.1210. All right, so moving on to the pound, which we've seen a lot more movement from this market than the euro. However, this right here, this channel is something I talked about over the weekend. Last weekend, you can see the highs back here. We've got the lows over here. And really, this downtrend is technically still intact. Now hear me out. That might sound a little bizarre because we closed above 1.3508. Okay, so we closed above this level up here, which you can see from this breakup structure that should have been a protected high, and we closed above, right? So why is this not a change of character? Why is this not signaling the bottom for the pound? And the reason for that is if we go to a 4-hour time frame. Okay, so let's take a look at this on this time frame, and I've talked about this before. But see this low right back here? So notice how we closed below it. Okay, so right here we closed below. Now that gave us a breakup structure on the 4-hour time frame, meaning that this all the way up here, okay, this level up here at 1.3658 is technically the protected high within this range. Okay, so from this point over here to this point, this up here is the protected high. So even though we took out this one back here, this is all of this through here, guys, is all just internal to this larger structure, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. The point being is that if you're trading this as a change of character and looking for a buy down here, it could work out short term. But when you look at this and this BOS here, okay, this larger structure, again, all of this, all these labels that you see through here, all of this is internal to this larger structure. And this right here, this move above 135 for the pound was really just from this external high down here to the external low, was really just a move right there into OTE, okay? So that's all this was here, in my opinion, was just sweeping these highs back here moving into OTE within this broader range, and now possibly, okay, continuing to the downside down here towards some of these lows. Now, another thing too for the pound is going back here to this channel. So what you'll notice here on the 4-hour time frame, okay, so if we take a look at this, what you'll notice here on the linear chart is that we had retest here, we had a retest as new support, another retest as new support. Notice we had these lower highs. Now, with this close below, okay, this right here is bearish, guys. This shows what's called a deviation or a failed breakout above this level. So right around 1.34, as long as we're below here, I am bearish on the pound, okay? So you could also trade this again as kind of a deviation or failed breakout from this market. And oftentimes when you get a parallel channel like this, and you see the market do this right here and close back inside of it, typically what you get is a move in the opposite direction down here toward the lows. Okay, so that is what I'll be looking for from the pound. Again, as long as we're below this area around 1.34, the top of this channel up here, I am bearish on this market. All right, so I hope this video helped. Keep it locked in here. Subscribe to the channel. Also check out that free SMC training right here on the screen. Click on that, enter your name and email address, and opt into the free training. Beyond that, you will have a chance to be coached one-on-one by me. So trade well out there. Until next time, I will talk to you in tomorrow's video.